You tell me that you're so poised and believe that the era of the US dollar as a standard of global currency is on the brink of an end. Why do you believe so?
So there is a number of things that leads me to believe that the US dollar is a very, very shaky currency at the moment. Let's look into history. Now, ever since the dollar was in existence, the plan was to always back $1 with the equivalent of physical gold. Now, what happened, this came into motion with what was known as the Bretton Woods Agreement in the late 1920s. But what happened in 1971, President Nixon at the time in the US decided to disband the system. So there were a number of countries recalling their physical gold that was at the time being held in the US. For whatever reason, they didn't send the gold, but what they did do was send cash. Now, how did they send the cash? By disbanding the system, it gave them the ability to let the Federal Reserve add an extra zero or print extra cash, however it was in 1971. So effectively, they were planning to only disband the break between the printing of $1 and backing it by physical gold for only sixpence. Here we are in 2023, April 16th, I believe, and they still never brought back the gold system. So what do you have now? They've printed somewhere in the region, they say 32, some say 35, I'd say it's probably 40 or maybe even 50 trillion. Nobody will ever know, right? All this money now is printed relentlessly and more so accelerated post the big collapse in 2008 and 9. COVID gave them another reason to start printing again. Little trembles in the ecosystem of banking, like the recent collapse of SVB, that perhaps made them print more money. You have these things known as reverse repos, which is effectively printing money. Billions of dollars are being printed. Now, you take, let's say, worst case scenario, $35 trillion, what they quote, or 30 trillion of debt. All the gold in the world today sits at, according to the World Gold Council, all the gold in the world is 200,000 tons, okay? Now, of that, 150,000 tons has been mined, so it's in existence. And taking into account the value, just over $2,000 an ounce this week, let's say anything in the region of around 11 to 12 trillion dollars. So now, even if they had to go back to the old money system, they'd have to collect the gold from everyone in the world, and it still won't match the debt that they've already printed or the money they've already printed. So what do we have? We actually have worthless bits of